Hello and welcome to Quartzlight, your car brochure channel, and in today's episode, the Volkswagen Polo Special Edition Ranger. Hello and welcome back, and if you're new to Quartzlight, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars and car brochures, please consider subscribing. Anyway, this episode is due to be first shown on a Saturday. We call those episodes Saturday special episodes, where we look at special edition versions of various different makes and model of car. Today's no exception. We're looking at the Volkswagen Polo Ranger. So let's put it on the board and have a look at that now. And here is today's brochure in typical Volkswagen fashion, nothing fancy really. At the front cover there, we've just got a silver cover, Volkswagen name at the top, and then it says exclusive Polo Ranger and the Volkswagen badge at the bottom. If we turn the brochure around though and move right to the bottom, we've got a bit of the Volkswagen marketing address at the time, and there's a date at the bottom there, April 1986. Now the Ranger actually became like a full-time feature, but in 86 it was very much a special edition model. So in 86, this year, started production of the 2 millionth Polo, and this Ranger was really there to celebrate that Volkswagen Polo achievement. So we got a few little nice extras, and it's actually a really nice special edition. So such a nice special edition, they really kind of like made it into sort of like a mainstream sort of top of the range hatchback in later years. So certainly not a rare vehicle. In fact, I'm sure we've all seen a Polo Ranger at some point in time. Of course, these are Mark II Polos, which were first introduced in October 81. Then zooming in to the front cover again, and the main front cover image, it almost looks like a little bit like a GTI type version, doesn't it? A little bit of red, those extra lights on there as well. Impossible to tell from this picture, but, well, not impossible, but certainly harder to see from this picture, but this is the hatchback version. So let's open the brochure up and have a look inside where there are better images. And it's quite a wordy text, so we're not going to read it all, but we'll certainly pick some key features out. Some nice little images. Best picture really is at the bottom there, so let's just start by zooming in on that. And you can certainly see lots of little extra bits being added on there. I don't know if you can make out whatever you're viewing on there, but kind of like Ranger at the top above that indicator section. Unusual design these actually, weren't they? Almost look like a miniature sort of estate or wagon version, don't they? But, you know, think hatchback. I think in the UK a lot of people kind of refer to these as the bread van, I seem to remember. But anyway, let's move up, look at some of the text and learn a bit more about this model. So at the top here it says, the Ranger is a limited special edition Polo which blends a sporty style with contemporary flair. Its high specifications and quality appointments offer added value and comfort. And a little bit of a front image of the Polo, showing those sort of like red bits around the grille though, those extra lights. Indeed, you know, sometimes you look at these special editions and you think, oh, you're not really getting very much, but this seemed to be like a bit special. And like I say, it was such a nice one really. I think they said, well, let's carry on making these because, you know, it's a good special edition, and that happens quite often. It does on here say the Ranger is a limited special edition, so in 86 you was probably thinking you was getting something very special, something very limited. But after they decided they was going to make it a mainstream model, I think these possibly could have become one of the most popular versions. I don't think they were certainly a rare vehicle. They seem to be everywhere, if anything. But like I say, that sometimes happens with special editions. Think of things like the 2CV with the special edition Dolly, which became kind of like a mainstream model in a way. Anyway, let's have a look at some more of the text. It tells us styling flair. The 1.3 litre Ranger is a very special Polo with a sporting character and distinctive styling. In keeping with its performance, there are twin front lights, giving an extra pair of driving lamps for increased nighttime visibility. Attention to detail even extends to red striping at the top and bottom of the radiator grille, a symbol expressive of Volkswagen performance motoring. Wide side rubbing strips and black wheel hubcaps have a function as well as visual effect. In particular, the rubbing strips protect the paint and bodywork against possible damage when opening doors, and both sets of features help to give the car a lower and more sturdy look. So yeah, it talks about black wheel caps in the centre of these steel wheels, but I think later on they did put on alloy wheels, which, you know, kind of like suits the car really, because it's kind of like going for that bit of a sporty look really, isn't it? It then goes on to tell us, you know, about the styling in this square back design, which, you know, a bit of an unusual bit of a design. The hatchback, like I say, was called things like the bread van in the UK and other sort of square type names in other countries. It was certainly a little bit different, I think. So it also says we can have individual styled roof rails, attractive black or bright alloy, depending on which exterior colour you choose. It goes on to tell us the car's character is also confirmed by its exclusive trim and sporty appointment. No other competitor in its price range matches the Ranger's well-equipped and tasteful interior. Its centrepiece is the body contoured sport seats, which are very comfortable and trimmed in an attractive black silver check pattern. Full seat adjustment includes height control for the driver's seat, and adjustable front head restraints are also specified. There is a 3-spoke steering wheel, and instrumentation includes a rev counter as well as digital clock, adding to your enjoyment and comfort. At Blankpunk, Hamburg radio is incorporated. This is a 2-waveband unit which features 5 push buttons for station pre-selection, 1 LW and 4 MW. And then we get some little bits of images of the interior. Typical Volkswagen really, not too exciting, dark black, a little bit sombre, but you know, you got things like rev counters and this sporty steering wheel. We get these nice chromed look roof bars and these quite nice looking sporty looking seats. Laminated windscreen, 2 door mirrors, intermittent wipe facility on both front and rear wipers, and seat belts all round. Head a long list of safety features. So not only is the Ranger a front runner in terms of extra value, but in safety too. It tells us it's enjoyable to drive. Tells us the range has been designed as a driver's car and it delivers what it promises. It accelerates to 50, is reached in 9.2 seconds. Unusually, it's using the 0 to 50 time here. I mean, certainly in some of the 70s brochures you use that 0 to 50 time, but by the 80s and certainly by 86, 0 to 60 was the more commonly used range, and saying 9.2 seconds makes it sound like it's a quick car, which isn't. So a bit cheeky, I would say, using that 0 to 50 time. It tells us it's also got a top speed of 95 miles per hour. At its heart is a responsive 1.3 litre engine developing 55 bhp, electronic ignition, hydraulic tappets, and long life spark plugs ensure peak efficiency and good performance. So it says that, but really, I mean, it's trying to say it's a bit of a sporty model, sporty seats, sporty steering wheel, bits of red on the radiator, those extra driving lamps, give it that sporty feel like they used to do with the GTI Golfs, etc. But really, it's not really a sporty vehicle to drive, I don't think. Finally, it tells us front wheel drive, a wide track, wheelbase and supple coil sprung suspension provide excellent handling and ride, while the gear change is smooth and refined. So the Ranger is enjoyable to drive as well as being distinctive. The badge on the grille provides the promise of Volkswagen's respective quality, reliability and durability, with the Ranger decals on the sides and rear providing an expression of a style that makes the car a cut above the rest. And then finally on the back page we get the specifications, so let's have a look at those now. Starts by telling us about the interior. We've kind of like talked about that in the text, so I'm not going to read it all out, but certainly if you want to pause the screen at any time as I move the camera down, then please do so and you can read it for yourself. So I'm just going to move that further down just to show the rest of those interior features. At the bottom there it talks about the warranty: 1 year unlimited mileage mechanical warranty, 3 years against paint defects, 6 years against through rusting of body. Then we get what it refers to as the technical outlines. That engine is a 1272cc unit, 55 bhp at 5200 rpm. Top speed 95. Again, it talks about that 0 to 50 of 9.2, but the more easier to understand, the 0 to 60 is there at 13.8 seconds, making it, seem much slower. Bit of a look at some of the fuel economy figures there. 4-speed, or you can get this 4+E option, being a more efficient setup. Transmission's a 4-speed gearbox, or the 4+E gearbox is an option. Steering, rack and pinion, brakes, discs at the front, self-adjusting drums at the rear. And then it talks about little bits on there. For the exterior features, again, we pretty much covered all these. It's got the driving light conversion, red stripes on top and bottom of grille, style roof rails, twin door mirrors, special black wheel trims, Ranger decals, wide side rubbing strips, side signal indicators, rear wash wipe, 3-speed windscreen wipers, laminated windscreen, bitumen and PVC underseal, metal or glass sunroof, available as a optional extra. Then we get some information about the servicing, usual sort of things, and then we move down. Looks like we've got 3 colour choices. We can have Alpine White or Mars Red at no cost option, or you can spend a bit more and get the Biscay Blue Metallic. Thank you so much for watching Quarterlight today and the Volkswagen Polo Ranger. If you remember these cars, please jot it in the comments. Always love reading those. And if you've not done already, please do consider liking and subscribing. Subscribing is completely free and really does help the channel. That little circle is where you can actually subscribe. I've also added a couple of extra videos if you've got time to have a look at, and there's many more in my back catalogue if you've got time to look. Most of all, have a great weekend and thank you so much for watching today. Goodbye.